So you recently decided to start a print-on-demand business. And after the fairy tale months have expired, you start to realize just how busy your life has become since adding on this new endeavor to your life. You might be experiencing stress in your 9-to-5 job, the pressure of being stuck in traffic whilst driving out for grocery shopping or running errands that feel like such a waste of your precious time. You might have children who are going through difficult times of their own, and this feels like is taking away from dedicating it to your business. The strain of a monotonous routine is starting to overcome your positive mindset. Worse yet, your shop has barely made any sales. So how can you stay motivated and focused on growing your print-on-demand business with all of this going on in your life? It's not easy, but it is possible by taking into consideration the 5 pieces of advice that I'm going to be sharing in today's episode. Hello everybody, it's Brian here and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all well. I want to thank one of my followers who had sent in this email asking for tips about how to stay motivated and focused when working on a print-on-demand business, even whilst experiencing a busy lifestyle. Again, it isn't easy, and the advice that I'm going to share is not the end-all and be-all of all advice, and some of it may not even be applicable to you. However, listening to the advice that I'm going to be sharing today might just be the catalyst to get you thinking about your particular situation and what you can do to maybe perhaps change or tweak certain aspects of your life so that you'll be able to dedicate the time that you want for your print-on-demand business, to watch it grow, to flourish, and hopefully to be in a better position to provide a better lifestyle for you, your family, your loved ones, and what have you. So if you're all geared for that, stay tuned. Here we go. Now, before we continue with today's episode, the fact that you're here means that you're interested in all things pertaining to print-on-demand. And for that, I want to thank you wholeheartedly for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for being a part of this community. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on that bell notification icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload a new video to my channel. I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and the scope of this channel is to help you take your print-on-demand business to the next level with actionable tips and advice, and every now and then these motivational type of episodes, which I believe we can all appreciate and use every now and then. So let's hop on over to my computer so that we can start with today's episode and start discussing the 5 tips that I wish to share with you today. Okay, tip number 1. You need to structure and allocate time in your day that will be dedicated solely to your print-on-demand business. The amount of time and the time of day is dependent on your particular circumstances, but whatever time you assign, you need to be strict about it and be consistent in utilizing that time solely for your business. I totally get it that everybody has different responsibilities, different tasks that need to be done, whether you're raising a family or maybe you're living a bachelor lifestyle and you need to do laundry, you need to go grocery shopping, you need to run errands. There's just so many things that happen throughout any given day that really and truly feel like a time suck that you wish that you could actually utilize for your own print-on-demand business. But you ask yourself, well, if I do that, then I'm going to be neglecting my responsibilities. How do I get around to solving this problem, which effectively everybody goes through at one point in time in their lives or another? Well, the answer to this particular question is to really take a hard and fast look at your day-to-day routine, okay? And ask yourself, how much time in that day was effectively wasted? Now, when I say wasted, I'm not talking about, if you've got kids, feeding and taking care of them. Far from it. Or if you've got laundry, that has to be done. But there are points in time in the day when if you really stop and look at what it is that you're doing, you're going to be finding that, there'll be a good 60 to 90 to even 120 minutes in the day, which was effectively wasted. Either you procrastinated at a task, you allow your mind to wander during a particular task, or you spend a lot of time on your mobile phone surfing the internet for basically no good reason at all, or just sitting on the couch watching hours and hours of television. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a little bit of downtime during the day for a little bit of R&R. It's important that you do get some time in the day to rest and relax. But in truth, if you had to stop and take a look at what you've done in a given day and actually say to yourself and be really cruelly honest with yourself. Say, listen, at that particular time of the day, I could have afforded not to have done that task. I could have afforded to cut down on the amount of time I spent browsing the internet or browsing social media or whatnot. I could have actually saved 30 minutes instead of watching that extra television program. Or maybe I could have saved an extra 30 minutes by not spending so much time, playing a video game on my computer or my tablet. So in truth, when you go through your day and you actually analyze what it is that you've done, and yesterday may seem very stressful and frustrating, in truth, there's always some time that you can actually, refine and dedicate to your business. I remember watching a video by a famous YouTuber. You probably know him. He's one of my heroes. I absolutely really enjoy listening and watching his videos on YouTube. This gentleman is Gary Vaynerchuk. And I remember one particular episode where he had stated, he was talking to somebody, and the guy said that he works, till late in the evening. And basically he told him, okay, well, what are you doing from 8 p.m. until 2 in the morning? And the guy just stopped and, was considering what it was that he was doing. And in truth, that was a large chunk of time that he was probably watching television or wasting time that he could have dedicated to developing his business. Now, if you take that into consideration, if you spend from, say, 8 p.m. until 11 p.m., or if you want to go so far as from 8 p.m. till 1 a.m., particularly if you wake up at around 6 or 7 in the morning, well, if you got those 3 to 5 hours on a Monday to Friday, let's assume for a moment you're spending 5 hours each day. Well, over the course of 1 week, Monday to Friday, that's 25 hours of time you could be dedicating and developing to your print-on-demand business. Now, again, that might be an extreme for some people, and that's absolutely okay. The point of the matter is that what you need to do is you need to really dig down and analyze how much time is spent during the day on wasted activities that you could actually allocate and refine and dedicate to your print-on-demand business. Again, it's not an easy thing to do, but in truth, if you really want to gain some success with your print-on-demand business, if you want to find the time in order to grow and, develop your business, then, you have to make those hard decisions. Right? And if you don't, well, then you might as well be just content with sitting on the couch watching television. But in truth, the only person that you'd have to blame is yourself for not getting anywhere with respect to that. It might seem harsh, but it is the reality of the situation. Okay, tip number 2. When working on your business, put your cell phone on silent and place it out of sight. These things have really revolutionized the world. They have made life extremely convenient for each and every one of us. The sad truth about it is that they're also a bane in our lifestyle. Why? Well, because of the fact that they are such a huge lure for wanting to check what's going on the latest social media feed, or wanting to browse something on the internet, or even just playing a game, or maybe even checking an email or a message that you had received. And because of that, when we are actually working on anything, and again, this does not necessarily mean only when you are working on your print-on-demand business, but in truth, in all facets of life, if we do not fight the urge to pick up our phone in order to check what has been posted or what the latest game or the latest app to download is, that's going to be sucking time away from you being able to effectively work and develop your print-on-demand business. Now, when you are doing something for your print-on-demand business, whether it's designing, or keyword researching, or even, replying to emails from potential customers or what have you. Whether you're dedicating a half hour or an hour or more to a particular task, put the phone away, put it on silent and get it out of sight. Because if it's out of sight, that urge to grab it and to look at it, particularly if you're coming across a rather challenging aspect of the task that you're doing, then, you'll be able to focus your mind and actually get it done. And you'll find that you'll get a lot more work done in a quicker amount of time rather than having the phone next to you and actually, referring to it back and forth. Okay, so put the phone on silent and put it away. Okay, tip number 3. Have a routine and a method to the work that you are doing for your business. Is it designing? Is it posting on social media? Is it keyword research? Is it answering emails? Whatever it is, just focus on that and don't let yourself be dragged into other tasks, as you'll quickly find that you've gotten nowhere fast. So let me explain this, okay? When we're actually working on our print-on-demand business, there's so much to be done. whether it's designing, keywording, posting on social media, uploading to the various platforms that we contribute to. And, it's really easy to get sucked into the idea that I've got to do everything all at once within an hour, within 2 hours, and I'll be doing this, and then I'll be doing that, and then this, and then that. And the fact of the matter is that when you actually try to multitask all of these things within a span of time, you're probably not going to get as far as you would have liked to have gotten to. And that can actually be very stressful and frustrating when the time that you dedicated to your business has elapsed and you go back to look at what you've done or what you've accomplished. So what I want to invite you to do is that when you are working on a particular task for your business, if you are designing, just design. If you are doing keyword research, just do keyword research, okay? Don't try to think about, okay, I've got to do this design, but I also got to find keywords for that. No, create all of your designs. Then when you're happy with them, then go into the next phase and keyword research for all of those so that your mindset will only be on that task. And when you do that, when you allow yourself just to focus on one particular task, you're going to get it done faster. All of the noise in your head is going to disappear. And then at the end of the 2 hours that you would have perhaps allocated for your print-on-demand business, you're going to go back and you're going to see that you really accomplished a lot more rather than trying to do a lot of minuscule tasks all over the place in the hopes of getting a lot more done. So really refine what you are doing at any given moment in time for the business and just focus on that until it's done. Then move on to another aspect in the business. Tip number 4, open up a number of shops on various platforms that you feel that you can handle and be consistent with and learn all of the ins and outs of those platforms so that you'll be as efficient and streamlined with your uploading and keywording as possible. Remember, it's better to be a king of 1 or 2 platforms rather than a jack of so many more. Again, when I first started out with print on demand, I had this feeling of excitement, this energy that, I could do it all and that I could do it in such a short amount of time and I was going to fly through it. I was going to provide all my customers with so many different designs and I'm going to have amazing keywords and titles and, people were just going to flock to my shop, buy a lot of stuff and I was just going to rake in the millions. The reality of it all is that once sort of the honeymoon period finished of actually being in print on demand, and I realized just how time intensive each platform that I was uploading to required, I was finding that rather than getting ahead, I was falling behind. And as a result, I was getting really stressed and really tense about it. And I thought to myself, I can't keep going like this. If I want to make sure that I'm enjoying the process, if I want to make sure that I'm uploading and providing quality designs to my customers, I have to be doing it in a way that's good for me, that's healthy for me, that's not going to make me resent having gone into this business industry, to have me resent and to feel stressed and frustrated about the task. Because I didn't want it to seem like a job. I wanted it to come across as a labor of love. So what I did was I took the decision to basically choose a couple of the platforms that I was uploading to and putting them on, a shelf somewhere. I'll probably get to them again one day, but then I decided that I was going to focus on just 2 or 3 platforms that I knew that I could handle, that there was a lot of similarities between them, that wasn't going to be so time intensive to upload to them. And when I did that, my workflow increased. I got a lot better at it and I was able to really dedicate and learn the ins and outs of those particular platforms so that when I was uploading, when I was keywording, when I was coming up with the titles, I could do it so quick that basically I could upload 10 different scale designs with the titles, keywords, and the placement in basically a span of 5 minutes. Literally, within a span of 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you how to do that later on in this episode. So take a really strong and hard look at how many platforms you're uploading to. Don't be misled by, others out there who might say, yeah, you really got to own a lot of, real estate on the internet with your designs so that you can actually, throw out a big net and catch a lot of customers. The truth of the matter is that you need to do you. Everybody's going to have their own opinion about how print-on-demand business should be run and on how many platforms you should be actually uploading to, and that's okay. Everybody's welcome to do them, and if they feel, or if you feel that you can actually upload to 4, 5, 6, or 7 different platforms and be consistent with it, hey, all the power to you, and I wish you every success. But if you are feeling really stressed out because, hey, maybe for some of you, this might just be a part-time gig, a side hustle. Maybe you've got a 9-to-5 job. You've got your family responsibilities that need to be taken care of. You might not be able to upload and contribute to all of those platforms as much as you would like to. And that is frustrating when you're not able to do that. When you're frustrated, when you're stressed, your ability to work efficiently decreases, you begin to resent it, and the likelihood of you throwing in the towel could be really, really great. And I don't want you to be in that position. So instead, focus your attention. If you're stressed out, focus your attention on one or two platforms. Be the best that you can be on those two platforms. Get really experienced with them. And then when you feel that you're in a position, both mentally and physically, to actually open up another shop, go for it. Why not? But you need to make sure that you're there first mentally with respect to your mindset. If you're not, don't do it, because otherwise the amount of pressure and stress is going to increase. Okay, and the fifth and final tip that I'm going to be sharing today is to be efficient with your uploading routine. Now, when I first started with print on demand, particularly with Redbubble, as many of you know, Redbubble has a lot of products that you can place your designs on. And when you are actually uploading a first design, it can be rather, intense and labor intensive to actually put all of your designs properly and making sure that they're all, in the right place so that they will obviously look the best they can possibly look in the mockups. And that's part and parcel of the game. There's no getting around that. But what I want to invite you to do is that when you are actually working on uploading a design, particularly, and this works really well when you have scaled designs, when you are in this process, take your first design and upload it and make sure that everything is placed properly, including the keywords, okay, and including the title, and even the description. And try to formulate your description in a way that can be applicable to all of the scaled designs that you're going to be uploading. And then once you've done that, many of you know that there is the copy function on Redbubble. And you can use this function to effectively get, let's say, for example, you have 10 designs and you've already placed the first one up. You can then use the copy function to get the other 9 up in a real fast and efficient manner. Let's take a look at an example of this on my computer to show you what I mean. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen. And as you can see here, what I've done was I created a very simple text design just for this particular video, to use as an example for this video. And what I did, given the fact that on a recent video of mine, I had spoken about National Pet Month, I thought, well, let's use something from that as an example for this episode. So I created a very simple text design. I have no doubt that you'll be able to do a lot better than what I'm presenting. But again, this is just for the example of this video. So what I did was created a text design stating father of a feisty, and then obviously I interjected a different dog breed for each one, and I created 10 of these designs. And as you can see here, I also created a variation for the sticker, which you can see here in the square thumbnails with the yellow background. And then these small ones over here come from the mug template that I offered a few episodes back. Again, I will leave a link to them in the description box below if you'd like to use it. But as you can see here, I've got one which is effectively going to be on the bulk of the products. Then I've got one for the sticker, and I've got one for the mug. So when I'm actually uploading these designs onto Redbubble, I know that I have all my designs nicely laid out in a folder, so all I can do is just click and drag accordingly to help speed up and streamline the uploading process. So I already went ahead and I uploaded the first design onto Redbubble. So as you can see here, we are on Redbubble and we are on the back end of the first upload pertaining to father of a feisty, and in this particular case, it was father of a feisty beagle. Now let's just take a look quickly at the components of this design that I inserted, which is going to help us streamline and make the uploading of the other 9 designs really, really easy and fast, okay? So as you can see here, with respect to the title, father of a feisty, I didn't go ahead and put in all of the other dog breeds because it's not necessary. I was actually designing for this keyword phrase in mind. And this is going to be something which is going to be consistent throughout all of the other 9 designs that I'm going to be uploading. Now, in terms of tags, I use a lot of generic tags that could effectively be applicable to any and all of the other 9 breeds of dogs that I'm going to be uploading. The only exception to the rule is the last keyword tag, which pertains to the word beagle. So it's this word that I'm going to be changing on all of the other designs once they're uploaded, okay? And then in terms of a description, as you can see here, I keyed in the title father of a feisty at the beginning of my description. And I have found through research that when you do this, it's actually very good for search engine optimization. So I would highly recommend that you put your title at the beginning of the description before you add on any other sentences within the description. Keep in mind that the maximum number of characters that Redbubble allows in the description is 256 characters. If you go over 256 characters, Redbubble will cut off anything after 256, and obviously your description won't really look very professional and it'll be cut off. So try to keep your description curtailed to 256 characters. And as you can see here, I typed in a wonderful dog lover gift idea for every loving dog father who is dedicated to caring for his feisty four-legged best friend. Makes a great gifting item on a t-shirt, mug, hoodie, and so much more. So as you can see here, I've got a lot of great related keywords pertaining to this design in the description within the first sentence. And then my second sentence is a form of an upsell. In other words, to get people to consider not only maybe buying it on a t-shirt, but maybe on a mug or on a hoodie, to get the cogwheels going in the brain stating, hey, you know, I maybe went in for this particular gift item in my mind, but you know what, now that they mention it, I might actually consider that for somebody else or for myself. So you're always trying to upsell and trying to get, you know, these other products into the minds of your potential customer. And you don't need to use t-shirt, mug, or hoodie. You could use any combination of any of the products that obviously the particular print-on-demand platform that you're using obviously has on offer. And again, this can work with TeePublic, with Zazzle, Spreadshirt, with effectively any of the print-on-demand platforms that are out there. I'm just using a Redbubble to obviously emphasize this in the example. Now, very, very quickly, what I did was, given the fact that this design is for a father, I turned off any of the products that pertain to sort of like women's apparel, you know, your chiffon tops, your graphic t-shirt dresses. And then what I did was I uploaded the sticker. And again, for those of you who may not know how to do it, all you need to do is click on edit. And then down over here where it says replace image, just drag and drop the file pertaining to your sticker variation over here, and obviously Redbubble will upload it accordingly and you'll have this as your sticker. Okay. And the other thing I did was, for some of these items, I did turn on the pattern feature. I felt that they did look good in this particular case. If they didn't, I would have deactivated. For those of you who know me, I'm a type of person that if it doesn't look good on a product, I will deactivate it. I'm not the type that I have to have my design on every single product in the shop, because I'd rather work on quality as opposed to quantity. So then I went down to the mugs, and as you can see here, I've got the design on both sides of the mug because of the template that I offered you earlier in this episode. And this way, I'm providing an additional bit of value to a potential customer who wants to purchase this design on a mug, in that whether he or she is left-handed or right-handed, they're always going to see the design no matter which way they're holding the mug, as opposed to just having it on one side and then just a bare area on the mug. So it's something you might want to consider to provide a little bit more value to your customer. And then all I did was, again, I just turned off anything related to obviously female apparel. Oh, there was one over here too as well. We'll just turn that off in terms of a scarf. And we went through all of the others, and I just turned off the ones that I felt were non-applicable, including obviously the leggings, the backpacks, the fitted masks, and the duffel bags, okay? And then when I was happy with it, obviously we're just going to make sure that we have the right to sell it, that there is nothing pertaining to mature content, and then we're going to save the work. Now here's where the magic is going to happen with respect to the streamlining and uploading all of the other designs in a really quick manner. Okay, so now I'm going back into my Manage Portfolio section, okay? And as you can see here, we've got the design father of a feisty beagle. So what we're going to do is, on this cogwheel over here, we're going to left click on it once to open up a new window. And then when you have copy settings, we're going to right click the mouse so that it opens another window, and we're going to choose open link in new tab. Okay, and we're going to do this 9 times. So 1, right click, left click, right click, left click, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, this is opening 10 copies of this design that we're going to be modifying with our other designs. I would highly recommend that you do not try to do this with more than 10 tabs. I've done so in the past, and for some reason or another, when I tried more than 10, I got a lot of error messages. Sorry, this design was unable to upload, and then I'd have to do it all over again. Try to stick to 10 or under, okay? If you have a lot, then just obviously do 10, wait a few minutes, and then go back and do another 10. Okay, what I normally do is when I'm scaling a design and I've created about 50 of them, I will upload 10 in the morning, then another 10 in the afternoon, and then another 10 later in the afternoon, and then another 20, obviously 10 and 10 the following day until I reach 50. How you want to go about doing it is totally up to you. But don't do more than 10 at a time because the algorithm doesn't like it. Okay, so to get accustomed to this and to be able to streamline it, you're going to need to get used to a few keyboard shortcuts, okay? Now, for those of you who maybe are unaware, keyboard shortcuts have really helped me to streamline my uploading process and just really increase the speed of my uploading and design making process. Now, to go from one tab to another, all you need to do is press and hold the control key, and then you're just going to tap on the tab key, which is basically the key above the caps lock. And as you can see here, I've moved on to the next one. I'm still holding the control key. If I tap on the tab key, I'm going to the second one, the third one, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to go backwards, I just want to make sure I'm pressing the control, the shift key, and then I hit on the tab key. And on the tab key, I'm moving backwards now until I get to the first one, okay? Now, in order to streamline the upload process, you want to do one segment for all of the designs at a time. This way, your mindset, your concentration is just on that. So whether we're going to be modifying the title, we're going to do all of the titles. Whether we're going to modify the tags, we're going to modify all of the tags. The description, we don't really need to touch because understandably, it is a generic one that fits with all of them. And then we'll do the same thing with obviously uploading the stickers and then uploading the mugs until we get to the part where we're going to be uploading. And it is really fast and easy. You know, don't worry if you don't get it straight off from the get-go. Your fingers are probably going to stumble and you're probably going to get mixed up a little bit at the beginning. And it happened to me. But don't worry about it. Through time and practice, you'll find that you're going to get really good at it. And if you stick to it, you'll be uploading, you know, your designs in a matter of minutes. Once you have obviously your root design up, which in this case is Father of a Feisty Beagle. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is first and foremost, I'm going to replace the image of Father of a Feisty Beagle with all of the other ones. So in order to do that, I'm just going to bring my window back into view here. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click. Well, we don't want to do the beagle. So the next one is Boxer. So what I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag Boxer into replace all images. And I don't need to wait for it to load up. I'm going to hit Control and Tab and go to the next one. Then I'm going to go back to my window. And to go back to your window, you want to type in Alt and then Tab. And once you hit Alt and then Tab, you're going to go back to your window where you have all of your files. And then you're just going to click and drag the next one. So I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to drag it. Control Tab. Alt Tab, and then the next one. Okay, it's loading up. Control Tab, Alt Tab, and then I'm going to the next one. Okay, so Control Tab, Alt Tab. We're going to choose this one, drag it. Control Tab, Alt Tab. We're going to do the Husky. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Poodle. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Retriever. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Terrier. Okay, so as you can see here now, I've actually uploaded the other 9 designs and I just transferred the file to replace the previous one that I had. Now, I want to just work on the title. So I'm going to hit Control Tab twice to go back to my first one. And I want to make sure that all of my designs are going to be listed with Father of a Feisty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click over here. I'm going to delete copy of, and then I'm going to hit Control on the keyboard with the letter A for all. So it's now I've got it highlighted. Control C to copy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my mouse effectively in the area for the title, because when I go to the other ones, it's going to, my mouse pointer will then end up being on the field for the title. So Control Tab. As you can see here, my mouse pointer is there. Okay, I'm going to click on it. Control A to select all, and then Control V to paste. Control Tab, click, Control A, Control V. Control Tab, click, Control A, Control V. So if I just do this, you can see that once you get used to it, you're moving really, really fast and you are very streamlined. And within a few moments, you're back to the very first design. Okay, now the next thing pertains to tags. Now, let's just open up the box over here, okay? And we kept all of these generic tags down over here, but obviously the one that stands out pertains to Beagle, because a Beagle and a box are not the same. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the Tab key on the keyboard to take us to the next box. And if you tap on the down arrow key a couple of times, you know, in this particular case, it was 3 times, your cursor goes right after the letter E in Beagle. And then all I have to do is just hit the backspace and type in Boxer. Doesn't matter if it's in cap letters or not, because Redbubble will then convert it accordingly. But let's turn off the caps lock anyways. Okay, so I'm going to the next one. Control Tab. I'm going to hit the Tab key to go to the next box. I'm going to hit the down key 3 times. Delete Beagle and type in Briard. Okay, Control Tab. Tab again to go to the next box. Tap on the down key 3 times to go to the end, and then just type in Chihuahua. Okay, Control Tab, move to the next one, down key 3 times, and then we're going to delete and type in Colleen. So as you can see, I'm not working around with my mouse. I'm using the keyboard to move me from one field to the next so that I can actually streamline and move really, really quick. Again, it takes practice. Don't panic at seeing me doing this quite quickly. I've been doing this for years now, so obviously and understandably, I'm going to be quite quick at it. But if you stick to it and you are consistent with it, you can actually develop your personal skill set in this and obviously streamline your work too as well. So let's go to the next one. Control Tab, Tab to go to the next one, down key 3 times, remove Beagle and type in Corgi. Control Tab, down key, back to the end and just type in Husky. Control Tab, Tab key, down 3 times, down to the end, type in Poodle, and we're going to do the other 2 rather quickly. So Retriever, Tab, move to the next one, and type in Terrier. Okay, so that means now I've got my title, my tags, and my descriptions all laid out for all 9 of them, and in truth, it really didn't take me more than a couple of minutes to do so. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to do the stickers for all of the design. So now let's go back to the first one that we need to add the sticker to. And before we add the stickers, we're going to scroll down all of the designs to the sticker part and click on the edit function so that we're just doing all of that. So again, we're just streamlining all of our actions so that our mind is focused on one task at a time. So we're just going to scroll down to a sticker. There it is. We're going to click on edit. Control Tab to the next one. We're going to scroll down to sticker, click edit, and we're going to continue doing that for all of them. Okay, until we actually get down to them. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you just keep the sticker as it is? It looks pretty good as it is. It does, but you want to get used to this because if you end up uploading something where, you know, your stickers are going to be tiny little pieces, it's good to have it on a background, whether it's a circular background, a square background, a rectangle background. I tend to go for those, so I just go ahead and upload, you know, these different stickers accordingly. So let's bring up the other window here. So Alt Tab, and now what we want to focus our attention on are obviously these yellow ones. So let's just put the window in a place where we can move. All right, and now we're just going to take it. So Boxer, we're going to hover over to replace image, and when I let go, we don't even have to wait for it to upload because that's going to be happening in the background. I just go to the next window and I continue doing so until I get right to the end. So we're going to click Control Tab, Alt Tab. We're going to do Briard, drop it over there. Control Tab, Alt Tab, bring the Chihuahua one. There we go. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Colleen. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Corgi. Control Tab, Alt Tab, Husky. So as you can see here, it's really, you can really move quite quickly when you get the hang of it. Okay, Retriever, and then obviously Terrier. And within a span of like maybe 15 seconds, we had all of the stickers uploaded for all 9 designs. Now we're going to go back to the first one again, and now we're going to scroll down to the mugs. So we're going to scroll down, we're going to click on it. We're not going to do anything. We're going to move down to the next one and scroll down to mugs. And we're going to continue doing that until we get all of the edit functions for mugs to come up. So you can see I'm clicking on the thumbnail of the mugs, and that will open up the edit function too as well for that too as well. Okay, so we've done that. Let's bring our other window up. So Alt-Tab to bring up the window. And now we just want to focus all of our attention on the mug aspects. Okay, so we're going to go on to Boxer, drag and drop. Control-Tab, Alt-Tab. Okay, we got the Briard one, so we're going to do that. Alt-Tab, Control-Tab. Then we're going to bring Chihuahua. Alt-Tab. Okay, Colleen. Make sure you put it obviously in the right place. Corgi. Husky. Don't worry about waiting for it to upload. It's going to be uploading whether you're on the page or not. Okay, so we've got Retriever. A lot of people tend to wait, and that's what wastes a lot of time. You don't want to be wasting time. Time is precious, so you want to make sure that you're using it to the best of your ability. And there you go. How long did that take me? Maybe 10 seconds to upload all of the mug designs, and they're there. Now we're going back to the first page. And I know that all of the other products have the design properly laid out. So the next thing that I would do is I just want to go straight down to the bottom to toggle on that little check mark in that box stating that I own this particular design. And we're going to do that for all of them before we actually click. So to get down to the bottom of the page on Redbubble, we're just going to click on the End key on the keyboard. And that's going to take us down. Do not touch anything, okay? Control-Tab to go to the next one, and then just hit End. Control-Tab, End, Control-Tab, End. You can sort of get to, it's like a song. Control-Tab, End, Control-Tab, End. And you're going to do that until you get to all of them, okay? So I've done that. 5 seconds is what maybe it took me, all right? Use your keyboard keys. They're there to help you. That End key, which is basically between the delete and the page down key, just above your cursor keys, if you're unaware where it is, okay, that key is absolutely gold for helping you to get right down to the bottom of a very long Redbubble page. And it works on all other platforms too. Now, and this is why I told you not to touch anything pertaining to the page. Because now when I move the mouse pointer on and I hovered over the box, every time I move to another tab by using the Control-Tab key, my mouse is going to be found right on top of that square. Okay, and then all I have to do is just click and go through them. So watch. I'm going to click on it, Control-Tab, click, Control-Tab, click, Control-Tab, click. And I'm going to just go through that very quickly until I get to all of those. 4 seconds, 5 seconds tops, maybe. Okay. Now, this is the part where you do need to wait a little bit, because if you click on Save Work for all 9 designs really quickly, it might muck things up, and you don't want that. So what I normally do is I click on Save Work, and I wait until obviously that processing dial gets to around 30 to 50% process, and then I go to the next one. But again, it's still quite fast because all I'm doing is clicking on saving work. I'm not doing anything else on that page. So this is effectively helping me to streamline and get the task done really quickly to save time so that I can do other things. So there you have it, everybody. 5 tips, which I'm hopeful that you can actually put into practice with your own respective print-on-demand business to help you get through those stressful times in your life. We all have them. Stress is an integral part of our lifestyle. There's no getting around it, but what we can do is we can try to manage it in the best way possible. Obtain tips, obtain advice to help better our ability to work at whatever task that we're working on, and learn to train our mind to focus on those tasks at hand so that we can actually expedite the process of whatever we're doing, be it print on demand or anything else in our lifestyle, so that we can get through those tough times, whatever they may be, and actually grow and become a better person for it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video today. I hope you found value in it. I hope you didn't panic too much when you saw me using all of those keyboard shortcuts. Please don't panic. It is something which is easy to do over time. It just needs a little bit of practice, just like anything. But if you actually do try it and actually do gain some success, I'd love to hear back from you. Drop me a comment in the comment box below, or get in touch with me on social media or through my email, whichever. I'd really love to hear from you. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more ways that you can take your print-on-demand business to the next level, why don't you check out one of these 2 episodes I have over here. And don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.